All right, coming to you from the back of a truck where I could film this video. This is number 10, the last one, so I made it. I wanted to say thanks to Travis over at Economic Ninja for putting a fire under my butt to do some of these videos, and I'm going to be doing some better ones and some more in-depth ones here in the next day or two. I'm excited about it. And I wanted to go over a couple of things. I was talking to a friend today about getting property off grid and what to look for. And I'll try to move the camera a little bit here so I can see me a little better. There we go. He was asking me, he's like, hey, so when you're looking for property to do the off-grid thing, what are you looking for? And it all depends on what your goal is. You know, are you going to want to be way out remote? Are you going to want to be closer in? You know, how do you want to live your life? It all requires, first and foremost, research. You want to check the local ordinances on the area, county or borough up here in Alaska, state, you know, and compare it to what you want to do. Do you want to harvest rainwater? Do you want to have chickens and goats, you know, or other animals? Do you want to build your own house? You know, there's a lot of places where you don't need inspections, or you don't need codes in certain areas, you know, building codes and whatnot. Not to say that those are all bad, because they're there for a reason, for safety in most cases. There are a bunch of stuff that's not necessary in my opinion, but anyways, you want to know the local ordinances, laws with regard to how you want to live. After you get past that, if you find a spot, a county, a borough, a state, whatever, that fits what you want to do, when you're looking for property, you want to first and foremost, at least for me, this is how I see it, so I'm not trying to say you have to, right? I try to preface that. I'm trying to get away with telling people what they need to do. So this friend of mine was asking me, and I said, look, you want to make sure you have legal access to the property. I got stuck in a situation where I bought property where there was a trail, and everybody kind of had this personal nodding agreement that was the access to the property. The neighbors did. And when I bought the property, that changed. And legally, I didn't have a leg to stand on, because it was just an agreement between neighbors. And when I got in there, they decided that the agreement no longer needed to be in place. So have legal access, physical legal access to the property. You're going to want to see if you can get water on the property. And a lot of these people I see buying property in the middle of the desert, it's tough, man. I've done it. I didn't have water on the property. The property was cheap, had some trees on it, beautiful view, but no water. Take that into consideration, you know. Water's a big deal, very big deal. Access, water. How's your septic going to be, right? Can you dig an outhouse? Most places in the U.S. you can't. Legally speaking, here in Alaska where I'm at, you can't as well, but no one enforces it, right? As long as you're not really out of bounds and making a big mess and stinking up the joint and polluting water, if you use some common sense, people will leave you alone. So access, water, septic, you know, what you're going to do with your waste, climate, you know, maybe it gets... See the place in different parts of the year. That's important too. A lot of people buy property in the summer, you know, they're on vacation, hey, it looks great, and they go move out there, they live in a camper or a tent, or they're trying to do something from scratch, and the winter is just so brutal, you can't even exist. You know, it's tough. So those are the real big ones. The other one is neighbors, right? You want to look around and check the neighbors out. See what their places look like. See, you know, are you getting smiles and waves when you wave to them on the road, you know, or the trails around there? Or are they standoffish and angry, downright, you know, aggressive, which has happened? Get to kind of feel the area. Go into the local gas station or restaurant that's nearby and ask around, you know, how is the area, you know? Are there any new people moving in? What's the biggest problem out here, you know, in this area? People seem to be open to new folks coming in, as long as they respect them and give them, you know, room, which in most cases that's a thumbs up. So those are some things to think about with property when you're looking to get a piece of land. Obviously price. If you can get it owner financed or pay cash, even better than taking out a loan. And those are, property wise, those are like some of the biggest. Access is big. Legal access, and then you want to make sure you can legitimately get to your property. We just had somebody, I just looked at Facebook about a month ago, and somebody bought property not too far from here, sight unseen, online. They came all the way up to Alaska from the lower 48, and they get to the town nearest their property, and they realize once they try to get out there, they can't drive to the property. They can't even take a four-wheeler in most cases out to the property, you know, an ATV. They'd have to wait till freeze up and take a snow machine out and then figure out how to get the road built. They're going to have to use bulldozers and bring in some fill. It's going to be a big project, and it's so big that they're abandoning the property, trying to resell it to the next poor sap coming along. So being able to put boots on the ground on your property or potential property you're looking to buy is huge. I'm really glad I was able to do that on this last one. I got burned on the one before this in the fact that I didn't have legal access, and I took the locals' word for it. So huge key points, you know, learn from others' mistakes, do your due diligence so you don't get caught in a tough situation. But there's a lot of possibilities out there, and there's also a lot of, you know, you don't need to tell everybody everything, right? Don't come into a new place and tell everybody your hopes, dreams, goals, aspirations, what you want to do with the property. Be a little bit more reserved, I have found works better. Don't just bloviate, verbal diarrhea everything out. So it pays to be a little more reserved. Be cautious, you know, not to be fearful and looking over your shoulder and judgmental, and you know, but just dial it back a notch or two. I have found that works a lot better. The less people know right away, the more they get to know you and the more you're around, then they can start building their way they see you, right? From their reality, instead of just kind of vomiting everything out at once and then forming a judgment right away, right? Or throwing it around town. You know, you may not want everybody to know what you're doing. There may be someone who really doesn't like that, or is competition for a business or whatever. So anyways, I have found that to be the best. It worked for me. So there's just a little bit on obtaining a piece of land in the U.S. for off-grid kind of stuff. Do your due diligence, do your homework. It will save you in the long run. And if you can pay cash or get owner financing, even better. That's about all I got on it. So thanks a lot. This video series has been great. It's really gotten me motivated. I've got a bunch of stuff I'm putting together. It'll be a little bit longer, more information. I'm going to do some hands-on stuff and show you some of the things I've got going on, instead of just these every night just to try to get these videos out. So it's gotten me in a good practice of doing it. Now the quality and everything is going to go up, and the content. So I'm excited about that. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate the support. I've had a lot more views than I ever thought I would get doing this, so that's awesome. There's more to come, more great stuff to come. And yeah, again, thanks for watching. Enjoy being off-grid or learning about it. Take care. Bye.